If you've ever sat at the dinner table wondering, what am I supposed to say right now? You're not alone. Supporting someone through mealtimes can feel emotionally exhausting, and many carers find themselves constantly wondering, am I helping? Am I making things worse? Or what if I say the wrong thing? And the truth is, there is no perfect script. Because when emotions are really heightened, people are often responding more to the tone, the pressure, and emotional safety than perfectly chosen words. What matters most is not finding perfect words. It's in the feeling underneath the words, the calm, supportive, being steady, and being non-judgmental. Hi, I'm Jane. I'm a carer of someone living with an eating disorder and one of the co-founders of Nourish To Flourish. Everything shared in these videos comes from our lived experience and independent research, and it's intended to offer support, understanding, and practical guidance. It's not a substitute for professional medical or mental health advice, so please take what is helpful for you and gently leave the rest. One of the most important things carers can remember is that your role is not to do this perfectly, because honestly, no one does. There will be moments where you feel frustrated. There will be moments where you say the wrong thing, and there will be moments when emotions are running high. And I just want you to know that that is normal. That is being a human. What matters most is not perfection. What matters most is repair, consistency, and connection over time. Because sometimes sitting beside someone calmly during a difficult meal can matter far more than finding the perfect words. Your steady presence really matters. Sometimes the goal is not a perfect meal. Sometimes the goal is simply helping the person feel safe enough, helping them feel supported enough and connected enough to be able to move through that difficult moment. While every person is different, there are some approaches many carers can find helpful during meal times. So keeping routine as calm and predictable as possible can sometimes help reduce anxiety. Even small things like consistent meal times, a familiar environment, or a calmer tone of voice can help create a sense of safety. Talking about everyday things like a TV show, pets, music, or plans for later on can sometimes help reduce the intensity in the room. Many carers describe feeling like they need to constantly engage and persuade or find the right thing to say. But when emotions and anxiety are already high, too much pressure can sometimes increase distress for everyone. Sometimes the goal is not about making the anxiety disappear immediately, but it's to help the person feel supported enough and to stay connected through it. It can also be helpful to avoid debates, lectures, power struggles, or trying to reason with the eating disorder in the middle of high distress. Because when emotions are really elevated, people often cannot process information clearly. So when anxiety becomes very high, the brain can shift into survival mode. And in those moments, even well-intentioned reassurances may not be heard in the way that we meant it. Instead, calm reassurance really helps. And that might be something like, I can see this feels really hard. I'm here with you. You don't have to do this alone. Sometimes emotional safety matters before problem solving. Language can have a powerful impact during eating disorders because often it's not only about intention, it's about how those words are experienced emotionally by the person hearing them. Even comments said with love, reassurance, and good intentions can sometimes unintentionally increase fear, pressure, guilt, and distress. Many carers are doing the very best they can. And it's not about getting everything right. It's about creating as much emotional safety and connection as possible. It's very natural for us carers to want to comfort and reassure our loved ones. And this comes from a place of love, care, and wanting to help. And sometimes our loved ones might bring up comments about their appearance, their weight, or their body changing. And it's completely understandable to want to respond with reassurance and to ease their distress. But sometimes, even when our intentions are kind and supportive, engaging too deeply in those conversations can unintentionally add more pressure, fear, and overwhelm. So instead, it can be helpful to gently refocus the conversation towards feeling support, safety, and connection. And this is not about finding the perfect supportive words. It's more about helping the person feel emotionally safe, heard, and supported. Because simple responses that acknowledge feelings, reduce pressure, and reinforce connection can often feel more helpful than trying to directly reassure appearance fears. So, having a calm presence and saying things like, I can see this feels overwhelming. I'm listening. You matter to me beyond appearance or food. I want to reassure you that not every meal will go smoothly. There will be tears, there will be conflict, there may even be shutdown or moments when everything feels overwhelmed. And after difficult meals, many carers find themselves replaying their conversations, questioning their words or wondering what they should have done differently. And this is completely understandable and normal. I want you to be gentle with yourself because you're learning throughout this journey as well. I want you to know that difficult moments, they don't erase progress, even though it doesn't feel like it at the time. And that relationships don't need perfection to remain safe, supportive, and meaningful. Repair doesn't need perfect words either. Sometimes it's simply coming back with calmness, honesty, and care. And it can sound like, I've been thinking about what happened earlier, and I'm sorry things felt so hard. I'm still here. These small moments of repair can help rebuild trust and also emotional safety. One of the things that's often overlooked in eating disorder recovery is the impact on carers themselves. Supporting someone through this can be emotionally exhausting, isolating, and incredibly overwhelming at times. And if that's where you find yourself right now, please know you're not alone. I see you and I hear you. Eating disorders can affect the entire household, parents, siblings, and even other family members. They may feel worried, emotionally overwhelmed, confused, exhausted, or even unsure of how to help. But your well-being matters too. You deserve support, connection, and you deserve information. And spaces where you don't have to carry this alone. So seeking support for yourself, it's not selfish, it's important. If you're supporting someone through an eating disorder, please remember this. You do not need to have all the answers. Small moments of calm, compassion, consistency, and connection matter more than you may realize. And even on difficult days, your presence still matters. Thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing to show up for someone you care about. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you know someone who may benefit from hearing it, please feel free to share it. Please remember, you once knew how to feed your loved one instinctively, but supporting someone living with an eating disorder can change those dynamics in ways many carers never expected. So try to be gentle and compassionate with yourself too, because you are learning throughout this journey as well.